I don't want to be negative about the younger generation, okay? But the younger generation doesn't know the things that we knew when we entered the workforce. Many of them can't make change for $1. Many of them don't know how to keep a check register and balance their checkbook. They don't write checks anymore, so they don't keep track of them. It's all with plastic and a debit card. And that's fine. I'm all for that, okay? But many of them, you know, don't know if they've spent more than they made. They don't have a tracking system. So it's our job as leaders to educate them. You talk to a commander, you talk to a first sergeant. I just had a couple of them come by here this morning already that said, you know, I spend 80% of my time dealing with soldiers and airmen on finance problems. And I said, well, I bet it comes in with strained relations too. Oh, yeah, that comes too, okay? Because believe me, and any of you who've been married any length of time, you know, if you start having money issues, you start having friction at home. Okay, and that's the leading cause of the 92 suicides we had last year in the Army National Guard and the 18 that we had in the Air National Guard. So if we can do our job, and we all, I'm talking about all of us can attack this and get ahead of it, then we're doing our jobs. So there's some other pamphlets that we have. We have over 80 pamphlets. I brought some that I want to just share with you and tell you about that are available, all free of charge, that deal with credit and banking and retirement. Now, we have other ones, too, that are available. You know, if you're having a baby or you're getting a divorce or you're PCSing or you're going through a midlife crisis, we have a pamphlet on everything at USAA Foundation that you can order. You can order one or you can order 250 if you want for your unit or your armory if you want. That's fine, too. But some of it's very basic, and I spent 30 years in a bank, so I look at some of this, well, heck, everybody knows that. Well, everybody doesn't know that. Okay, especially the 18-year-old entering the job market or entering the military. So we have a pamphlet called Get Credit Wise, okay? And when I read through this, it's very elementary. When other people read through it, there's a lot of stuff in there they don't know. There's a 4-question quiz in here. Let me just read you the 4 questions. Okay, how would you answer them? And I'll tell you what the answers are. So don't tell me what the answers are, okay? Question 1, credit is free money for your use. ATM and debit cards help you establish credit. You do not have to be concerned with the credit card's terms and conditions and fees. And you should not apply for more than one credit card at a time. The answer to all 4 of those are false. But you would be surprised when we go out to an event how many young military members don't answer all those false because they have a misconception on credit. So this is one of the first pamphlets that I will recommend. I have these out at the table if you want to pick some up, or as I say, you can order them. Okay, this is all about getting credit-wise, understanding credit, okay? How to budget, okay? It talks about percentage rates and so forth. So pamphlet number 1, very, very good read. Okay. Second pamphlet I want to go over is building and maintaining good credit, okay? Why do we need good credit? Why is it important that we establish credit? It's like, what's the young 20-year-old say, I got enough money, I don't need to borrow. Why should I get credit? Well, you're going to need it in the future because I'll read right off this chart the reason we need good credit and what poor credit can keep you from obtaining. One is you receive job-related security clearances based on your credit report. And we talked about the 3 credit unions up here, or not credit unions, 3 credit bureaus, okay, that you can go through. So it's important that you monitor your credit score and you work to increase that score, whether it's Beacon or whatever they call them, okay, that you increase that score because security clearances are part of that. And we all have security clearances, and based on your job, you may need to go up, okay? Renting an apartment or home of your choice is based on your credit report. Purchasing a vehicle or home of your choice is based on your credit rating, okay? Obtaining favorable insurance rates for your vehicle or home is based on your credit report, okay? And obtaining lower interest rates on other loans is based on your credit report. How many times do you get those credit card advertisements in the mail and they got 3 or 4 APRs on there as the possible APRs? Guess what that's tied to? The 8.99 is tied to a very high credit score. The 24.99 is the one with the low credit score. So on the flip side, poor credit can keep you from getting your background check approved, qualifying for an apartment or to buy a home, qualifying for a car loan, okay, even getting life insurance if you're a bad credit risk, okay, or securing any other loans for future purchases. So building and maintaining a good credit is very, very important. When I was at the bank and I talked to young people about establishing credit, I said, you know, if you got money in the bank, give me your passbook, let me loan you money, and I'll hold that as collateral. What we're looking at is the ability to repay. So if I can make you a secured loan and you can prove the ability to repay over 12 or 24 months, you've now established credit. And that's what's so important. Now, the sad thing in today's society, bankruptcy has become a tool in financial planning. It's no longer throwing the towel in. You know, in the old days, bankruptcy was very frowned upon. Now it's almost a tool that every 7 years I can file bankruptcy, wipe my slate clean, and start all over again. And there's enough dumb creditors out there that at the end of the 7 years they're going to start giving them credit again. And there are people who've probably filed a bankruptcy almost as many times as they've deployed. And that's a shame, because every time they file bankruptcy, the rest of the people, the good people that are paying their bills on time, lose. Because it all has to come from somewhere. It's whether it's an insurance company or whether it's a financial institution. Okay, when they have a loss, it has to be paid from somewhere by somebody. And that's from the good people paying their bills. Okay. Get money wise. Okay. Comparing banks. Okay. When you're looking for a bank, you need to know what you need from the bank, and you need to ask the bank what they have. You can go in the bank, you can look at the brochures, you can look at their websites, or you can call them, okay? Do they have what you need? Do they offer student checking accounts or military checking accounts? Are there monthly fees, and what are they, okay? Is there a minimum balance? Many places, if you don't have a minimum balance, they charge you, and those fees become very, very costly, and it cuts into somebody's income or their take-home check, which is small to begin with. Know up front what those fees are, okay? Does your account draw interest? So are they paying you interest on your checking account? Is there a charge for checks, or is there a minimum number of checks you can write each month? And after that number, what's the charge for the checks? Is there a charge for printing checks, or do you get your checks for free? Do you have an ATM? And is there a fee for using that ATM? Is there a fee for using the ATM card? Many banks now have implemented a monthly charge for using a debit card or an ATM card. Okay. Are you allowed to use other banks or financial institutions' ATMs without a fee, or is the money reimbursed? Something to think about when you're in the military and you're traveling a lot. You know, if you're at the hometown bank in Battle Creek, Michigan that has 10 ATMs, that's nice, okay? But when you deploy or you travel throughout the Guard or throughout the country and you need access to your money, are you going to be charged to get your money back? And if you are, is there a reimbursement from your bank for that fee? Something to know up front, okay? Is there a fee if your withdrawal exceeds the amount in your account? Or can you tie another account to that so I don't get charged? Sort of like overdraft protection. Can I tie a savings account to it? Can I tie a credit card to it? So that if I make a mistake, and we all make mistakes, it's human. You know, overdrawing your checking account is not the end of the world, and believe me, it happens to the best of people. Okay? But is there a fee for it, or can I tie another account to it so I'm not charged? I'm not embarrassed by having a return check. I'm not embarrassed by having a charge denied when I'm trying to impress my girlfriend and I'm out to dinner and now I can't pay for the meal. Is there some other place where that money can come from that I can prearrange? Okay. Do you have online services? Can I pay my bills online? And is there a fee for that? Many institutions have online services, but they charge you for it. Check out the fees. Okay. Know what you're getting right up front and what it's going to cost you. And do you have mobile banking applications? I tell people, right here's my bank. I do everything that I need to do for banking right here on an Android or an iPhone, except get cash. And they haven't figured that out yet, but maybe they will someday, okay? So do you have a mobile banking application? And that's important if you're in the military, if you're traveling around a lot. Now, Guardsmen typically don't PCS, but you travel a lot. You go TDY a lot. You know, the younger generation doesn't go into the brick and mortar bank that I managed for many years. And the younger generation does not go into the brick and mortar bank between 9 and 5. Okay, they just don't do that. They pay their bills online at midnight in their underwear, sitting at their home computer or on their iPhone. They don't even use their home computers anymore. They're using their iPhones or their iPads. Okay, and that's where the generation is going, and they're dragging along some of us old guys too, because I do the same thing now. I don't go to the bank, and I work in one. I don't go there. I use this, and I use my iPad.